Early girl.
Good morning. I hope you're well and having a beautiful day and a beautiful August so far. Today we are going to run some errands. I'm hosting two different gatherings later this week. So one is my mom's surprise birthday party. So I need to get some happy birthday decor for that. I used to have this happy birthday gold foil banner that I reused for multiple birthday celebrations, but it was on its last leg last time, so we no longer have that, but I'd like to find some kind of banner to decorate with, along with some paper goods, napkins, that sort of thing. So we'll look for that. And then I also want to go to some thrift stores. I have a giveaway donation that I want to drop off. So while we're there, we'll take a little peruse, browse around, see what there is to see. And our first stop is going to be at a plant nursery, specifically a plant nursery that specializes in butterflies and butterfly gardens, which that'll be really special. And that leads me to our butterfly update. So if you've been following along, I've been watching and raising these monarch caterpillars that we found in our garden, and it was such a beautiful experience getting to find these caterpillars when they were just itty bitty and watching them grow into their chrysalis. And last week I was able to watch them emerge from the chrysalis, and they were monarch butterflies, but unfortunately they were not healthy monarch butterflies. And it was really heartbreaking because I heard about this disease in monarch butterflies, but I was just really wishfully thinking that ours would be totally fine from it. But there is this really prevalent disease called OE in butterflies, which, let me pull up the scientific name. It's quite the mouthful, so I may mispronounce it, but it's Ophrositis electrosphaera, and it's a debilitating parasite, and it's common of the monarch species and can cause deformity and even death. And the OE spores are durable and can persist for many months or longer under favorable conditions, and infected monarchs can be covered with millions of spores. So I had heard about this because through this whole process I've been researching monarchs so much and just trying to learn more. But it was a really bad case for all four of our monarchs. So it was incredibly, I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted. It was just heartbreaking. I mean, because I got to see them grow and watch their whole journey, and then for it to end that way, it was really hard. But in a way, I'm thankful for the experience because now I have more awareness of this disease, and it's especially common and worrisome in the state of Florida, which I'll get into. But essentially, the monarch species in the US and Canada, they will live here during the spring and summer, but in the winter months, they migrate to Mexico because of the warm weather. And that is how it's supposed to be. That is like how God designed it, because that way disease can't spread as much, and it's just their natural migration patterns. So in Florida, the issue is caused because, of course, we're a warm climate state and we have tropical milkweed, and especially in South Florida, tropical milkweed is native. So there is a group of butterflies, monarch butterflies, that will stay in Florida all year round. That is okay, that is natural for them. But the tropical milkweed is spreading throughout the state of Florida, and it's causing more monarchs to stay, which is a very charming notion. Everyone wants the butterflies to stay all year round. However, that is not natural for them. And with this disease, OE, that is the fact that the butterflies are staying within the state, that is causing the disease to spread much faster, because when they migrate, they're able to kind of have a refresh, and the disease isn't as prevalent or grows as rapidly. So that's sort of the chain of events as far as I know, which, by the way, everything that I say, I'm still very new to this subject. I'm still researching and learning myself. So if I misspeak, I'm sorry, but that's just what I've gathered so far. So everything is to my best knowledge, but I could be mistaken. And the thing with science, I've read so many different research articles, and sometimes they do contradict each other, and it's important to note that it varies location by location. So monarchs specifically have been getting a lot of press and media coverage lately as well because of the fear of extinction. And one of the common tangible action steps is to plant native, it's really important, native milkweed. And that is really, really a great idea. However, I was just reading a research article this morning that said in Florida, maybe chill on the milkweed, because we don't want these butterflies to stay, especially in northern Florida, because it gets too cold. They need to go to Mexico, but if they, get too comfy here, then they might not. So it's been this whole learning journey. So I'm still trying to figure out the best next step and what we can do. But there also are other species in every part of the world probably that need more habitat, because of course with humans there is massive habitat loss for every animal. So with the butterflies, an easier action step is creating a garden with their host plants. So today I hope to get more clarity when we go to this butterfly encounter and nursery. And again, I'm just gonna continue doing research and try to figure out what's best. I also found this other butterfly farm kind of near us, which I don't know exactly. I need to do more research about that as well, but I did email them to try to schedule a visit, because again, I'm really just so enamored by these species and just their whole process of metamorphosis. I think it's really inspiring and something that I want to learn more about. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to figure it out. I feel like I just talked your ear off about the butterflies, but hopefully that made sense and I'm able to continue to help spread the word about what's right. But of course, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Another thing is with OE, it is very confusing because most likely the butterflies that were in my garden, the caterpillars, they were born with OE. Since it's so prevalent in our area, it can actually be spread from the mother butterfly to the eggs, or the caterpillars can eat it off the milkweed. So again, it's been a whole learning journey, but we're gonna go check out this nursery and have a beautiful day together. But I'm excited to spend time with you all. first time ever at that butterfly garden and encounter. Oh, it was so beautiful. I got to see so many butterflies up close and I learned so much. So there's this woman who works there, her name is Edna, and she gave me all of this wisdom and tips and advice, and we talked a lot about OE and the monarch species, and she was talking about how, you know, it is a really prevalent thing, especially here, especially this time of year, and there are kind of different opinions on what the right thing to do is, whether you should bleach the eggs or if that is harmful, which to me that seems very invasive, but the Facebook group I'm in talked a lot about bleaching the eggs to remove the OE. So there's a lot of varying opinions, and I initially came in to get more milkweed to plant in the garden, but at this rate I'm still trying to figure out what is best, and personally just want to do more research and everything. But I want to caveat that if you don't live in Florida, planting milkweed is a good idea. It is very much recommended, but with Florida there is some question marks because we want the monarchs to migrate to Mexico, but they might get too comfortable here and then spread the OE disease. Hopefully this is making sense because I'm still like trying to make it click in my mind, so hopefully I'm explaining it well. But she also shared so many different fun facts and how in the upcoming months, different species of different species of butterflies, they'll turn into their chrysalis, but they'll actually stay in their chrysalis until spring. So it isn't as fluid or as short of a time frame from turning to caterpillar to butterfly. So it's this whole thing. And then I got to have some close encounters with some painted ladies, which she said painted ladies are thriving and they're really adaptable and strong species of butterflies. So it was just really amazing. And I did pick up some plants, so I'll show you those later. And I did pick up some painted lady caterpillars. I'm sorry if this isn't your thing, I'm just shoving caterpillars in your face, but they are about to pupate also. So we got to get these butterflies home, and then once they hopefully have a healthy cycle and turn into butterflies, we can release them and hopefully they'll like to hang out in our garden. But they're so cute. The problem is, this is just kind of clicking for me, I still have some errands I need to run, but these babies need to stay in air conditioning because it's too hot in the car or too hot outside even. So I'm gonna need to take them with me in my purse. So hopefully that'll go well. A hot dog toaster. Shop. I don't think I mentioned what I was even looking for, but I was looking for a specific occasion. So this Friday night, we're hopefully going to be doing another backyard movie night, which if you don't follow on Instagram, maybe you didn't. Well, I think I mentioned it in a vlog that I was hoping to do a backyard movie night. We did one on Friday and it was so much fun, such good memories, and I had so much fun. I want to do it again. So this Friday we are going to do watch Aquamarine in the backyard, and we're going to do a whole theme. So it's going to be mermaid movie night. It sounds like a 5-year-old's birthday party, but we're just living. We are living our summer to the fullest, the full extent. So I was kind of looking for any seashell inspired glassware, homeware, anything like that that would serve well for that occasion. But I also love coastal seashell items regardless. One of my favorite thrift finds are these 2 glass seashell jars that I found, and today we found this beauty. So it's sort of like a bowl or a dish, you could say, but it's this beautiful iridescent pink filling. Imagine the popcorn in this bowl for our movie night. I'm really excited about it. I think it's cute. And then I just popped into Joann Fabrics because for this plant that we purchased today at the nursery, I was hoping to find a planter for it to fit in because I don't currently have one of this size. So I wanted to check Joann's because in the past I've seen some really cute planters there, and since we're going into the autumn months, I figured they would have some good sale on their summer and spring items, which they did, but they didn't have any planters, so no worries. But I did find some paper goods. So these are not for my mom's birthday, these are for autumn. So cute. I just have been loving mushrooms these days. And then these were also with the autumn paper goods, but I thought these were timeless enough that we could use it for autumn, but also for this weekend for my mom's birthday. So I like that. Like, this isn't, this is too autumny, especially the pumpkin. This one could go for various occasions, but I don't want to be wasteful in the sense, like, I hope to find paper goods that could be a bit more evergreen, just so that we don't have to save them up for special occasions, if that makes sense. So those were great finds, and those were 40% off, so that was nice. And now we are at Home Goods in Target for a few other things on the list, and then my last stop is picking up dinner. We still have a while to go until dinner, but while I'm out, I just want to pick it up because our friends are coming over for games and dinner tonight. So that's the plan, but I'm definitely kind of running low on energy and I'm out of water, so I might need to get something to drink while we're out. It's been quite an adventurous morning. I wasn't expecting to be gone so long at the butterfly garden. It was more than I anticipated, but it was very, very special. And let me show you what I picked up. So I picked up this Swiss cheese plant. Is it called Swiss cheese? Yep, Swiss cheese plant, and this is in the Monstera family. I love these plants. I think they're precious. And what's cool about them is they kind of act like a vine, so if you train them, they can grow upward. And I've seen this done before where people who have them in their home, they'll have these little wall clips and train it along the wall, and it looks really, really neat. So that's sort of the vision. I'm still brainstorming exactly where I want to put this one. I'm thinking either the powder bath or the laundry room or somewhere in the living area. So we will see. We'll definitely find a home, and I already want to start propagating it, so I'm going to go ahead and take a clipping soon so we can start expanding, because this is a special plant for sure. And then I also picked up this ficus. I've been looking for a ficus for a while, and this is a yellow gem ficus, and I want to put this in the living room to add some green by the right side of the TV. A few vlogs back I mentioned I was kind of looking for something to add to that space, so I want to do that. And it's so funny, whenever I think about decor, I think of seasonal decorations and Christmas time and having the Christmas tree there and whatnot. So once we have the Christmas tree there, I won't keep this plant here, but I'll find another spot in the house where I can keep it for that time of year. But it's funny how that's how my mind works. And then the last thing I picked up from the nursery is this little, what would you call this? Caricature statue? And it says fairy garden, and I'm gonna kind of nestle it in the garden among the flowers, and I just think that'll look so sweet, and it'll look adorable once we have our morning mushrooms there. I just think that'll be a really cute moment. So I loved that. And then at Target, like I said, I was picking up stuff for the birthday party, so picked up some cups, some party hats, a garland backdrop that I'm gonna layer with this happy birthday balloon kit. And this is pretty much the same kit that I had last time, so I know it can last multiple uses, and you blow it up with a straw. So it is quite a task because there are 13 different balloons, but it's super cute. Got some napkins and some more plates. So that's what we have, and I'm gonna put this away and then tend to our sourdough because we made the dough this morning and it is popping off. Brandon sent me a picture while I was out. He's like, it is actually overflowing. Look at that. Oh my goodness, it's so funny. So I'm gonna do a jalapeno cheddar loaf and then just a regular classic loaf. Here it is for now. Stylistically, I'd like it a bit higher, a bit taller, because I think that'll kind of work better. But for now, I didn't find a planter while we were out, but for now I'm just putting it in one that we had in our bedroom. So it's kind of temporary, but she's a beauty. As I'm prepping the jalapeno and cheddar for the sourdough loaf, I just realized I totally forgot to add salt to the dough. So I'm trying to do some research now to see if it's too late to add in. I mean, it looks very happy, but I think it'll taste very off without the salt. It's an integral part of the dough, so I'll keep you updated. Lots of peppers coming in. I think it's been helping that it's been raining more frequently during the hottest part of the day to kind of shield them from the summer sun. Some jalapenos, love to see it. Okay, I added in some salt and the toppings. We'll see how it goes. I'm definitely lowering my expectations for this flavor. Brandon's feeling very optimistic about the no salt, but he reminded me that our friend Leah, she did this before. She forgot the salt and they said it tasted so bad. So, but he's still optimistic. We are reporting from the future. I baked the bread a few hours ago, the no salt bread, and it looks different. It definitely burnt. I mean, it's not totally burnt, especially that one. I baked this one. This was my second loaf, and I baked it a little shorter because the first one crisped up a lot quicker than normal. So that's a little different. And they also seem bigger than normal, which is kind of funny how the salt or the no salt would factor into the size. But the real question is, how does it taste? It doesn't look that different. It looks shiny. Does it smell the same?
Yeah.
No, you taste it first.
Why does that mean you smell it?
Oh. Yeah, it doesn't taste that different. I mean, smell that different. It's extra chewy. Does it taste bad? Let me try. It doesn't taste good, really? Oh no! It just tastes plain. Like, it's not repulsive, but
Not good.
you live and you learn. We're still gonna keep it, and I'm brainstorming what to do with it. It would be good dipped in soup because, again, it's not like, it's just, the problem is it's not super flavorful because the salt is an important component of making it or enhancing that sour and flavor of the bread. So I'm thinking maybe we could just dip it in soup. That's a good option. Or even some kind of savory French toast could be fun. these chocolate chip sourdough scones yesterday, and they are quite scrumptious, if I do say so myself. And this is my first time making scones, and they're quite easy to make, honestly. And you don't need, I'll link the recipe, but I'm pretty sure you can follow the recipe even without sourdough starter, and it would be delicious. Fun night. It is time for bed though. It was really fun. We just talked, ate dinner, played Chameleon for a little bit, which is officially my new favorite board game. I think it's so fun, and it's one where you can laugh during it, and you do have to think a bit, but it's not super critical thinking, so you can kind of keep it light and have side conversations as you play. So really loved it, but we're gonna call it a night. Thank you so much for spending the day with me and following along on all the summer adventures, the butterflies, everything of the sort. I love and appreciate you all so much and cannot wait to see you next. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye, buddy. Say bye. You're like, where did my friends go?